Welcome, Pete. Welcome. This is Pete Nicholls from HubDo. Pete, tell us a little bit about yourself. You're joining us for the Hug on September 15th.
Yeah. Hey, Andrew. Thanks for the opportunity. I wish I could be in Dublin, but I'll be remote on Zoom. So I'm Pete. I'm the founder of HubDo. HubDo looks after hundreds of businesses worldwide. Most of those use HubSpot. So I'm a HubSpot trainer as well. And there's some things you and I have been talking about, Andrew, that we're seeing clever folks do in the field. So this time it's all about sales. So we want to talk to folks about that.
Tell us a little bit about why there's a bunch of hippopotami behind you in the picture there.
I've just coined the term, how hip am I? So
Okay.
all my friends here. So this shallow water, that's what I'm getting back from our customers at the moment, is just the leads are there, and it's just different. So unless you're in a boom industry like software or manufacturing, or you're struggling like the airlines, you're generally dealing with just shallow water. And so it's when the tide goes out that you find out who's been swimming naked. Well, these sales folks are trying to do the best they can in shallow water. So things that maybe sales teams could turn a blind eye to as best practices before, it's the folks that are using those that are the ones that are keeping their head above water, moving those deals through the funnel still. And the ones that haven't picked up those best practices are the ones you can't see because they're under the surface.
Yeah, but they're perfectly happy because they're hippopotamus, so they're going to be fine. But we'd like to surface them a little bit. And you mentioned a little bit about the best practices that these salespeople are following. And, you know, a lot of the time, I think with HubSpot, there's so much information there, and sales has become a major focus for HubSpot. And as you know, as a HubSpot partner and a lot of our clients, we see them starting to get into things around sales automation and operations and systems and all sorts of integrations. So tell us a little bit about why we named this session how to get all your people to sell like your best salespeople. What does that mean exactly?
Yeah, so well, because you wrote the blog on exactly that, Andrew, and I could say we're going to come along to the session, give you a magic wand, and you can just magic any salesperson into be exactly the same as your best salesperson. And like, that's never going to happen, right? So it's about what are the best salespeople doing? What are the tools that they're using to move the right sort of opportunities through that initial connect and engage and the proposal stages through to the close, the stages of the sales cycle, particularly at the bottom of the funnel where people are doing smart things. And so we want to share what some of those smart things are, and sales managers who come to this session can figure out whether maybe they could use some of that to lift the water level a little.
So a lot of us are working, you know, with marketing teams. There's the HubSpot term marketing, which is sales and marketing melded together in some way. What puts you in the position where you can see so much of this best practice? Tell us a little bit about how you're working with agencies and with software vendors through HubDo, so that we can understand where you're getting this point of view and what people might hope to learn from the session.
Yep. Great. Well, fantastic thing about software with everybody on the cloud, those who are using their CRMs properly, is you get to see the data. So I'm going to share some of our own data and what we're hearing back from individual businesses, what they're doing in each part of the sales cycle. So for example, in that initial connect phase where we're trying to get customers onto a call to have a proper conversation, everybody's working from home. So things like video, things like the sales sequences and snippets and templates that are within the HubSpot sales platform, and then through into the exploratory calls that turn into some sort of a proposal. Some folks are doing the oral proposal of what they present to close a deal. Others are using platforms like PandaDoc together with HubSpot to send out a proposal, and it has smart things in it, not just the tools like video, but also some smart cloning of the best stories that the business has to make sure everybody's using the best content, not having the best salesperson just keeping that in their bottom drawer. And then through to the handovers to the teams. So we'll look at tools like HubSpot, we'll look at video, we'll look at PandaDoc, of some examples of what folks are doing and what's working for them.
I think that's going to be super interesting. And I suppose some of the people in sales, usually when we work with sales managers, they're always very excited about the tools, but they want to know, you know, what do I get out of this? Like, how can I start to use these tools, and what could people hope to start to apply after they attend the Hug session on the September 15th?
Yeah, a great question. So for folks who already have HubSpot, and we'd expect them to come away from that session with things that they should already be looking at within those tools that will give them better insight as to who's doing a better job down at that more segmented level. Not just the overall win rate of salespeople and close rate, but what are people doing at the different stages of the funnel that are working. And then some of these other tools that they might want to plug into their HubSpot. And if you don't have HubSpot at all as yet, and maybe you have some form of CRM or just an Excel spreadsheet, you'll get some insights on ways that you can strap some floaties on for your sales team to give them even just one thing that might help them out over the next few months.
I think you mentioned the term floaties before, which I think it might be a Southern Hemisphere term for armbands, as we call them in Ireland.
Armbands, pointy devices, swimmies, something that keeps your head above water when the water level is low.
It's vital at the moment. I think a lot of people are thinking about just the short-term gains that they can get from what's in their pipeline at the moment, and then looking further down the line, as a sustainable, growing business, what's life going to look like in 2021 and so on. So I think there's going to be a lot to learn from you, Pete, on the 15th. Is there anything that people need to bring? Anything special they need to bring to the table when we kick off?
You won't need to bring your floaties. We'll try and hopefully provide those. But I guess just bring your greatest challenges of quite how you're dealing with your leads right now. Many businesses in a different position at the moment. So we're looking forward to some really good questions, actually, because we always learn from everybody in the room. It's not one person. I'll bring what I can. And we'll discuss it. We'll run a few little polls using Zoom to ask some questions and kind of get the temperature of how people are finding it out there. And we'll all come away with something.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, Pete. Thanks so much for joining us on the session. And I guess we'll see you on the 15th.
Yeah, and it's my pleasure. Thanks for the opportunity. And I'll have to drink my own Guinness here.
We'll have one ready for you.